But onto Kaizer Chiefs, who won 4-0. The fans feel like football is back at Kaizer Chiefs because one is the goals, two it's who's scoring with Ranga and Dupre as well, who weren't scoring previously, right, Jay? Do you think going forward that these are the guys, because seemingly confidence is up by Chiefs and players are playing better because Dupre's confidence was down, wasn't scoring. Ranga wasn't scoring. Yusuf Mat also was not necessarily a fan favorite, but he got onto the score sheet as well. Do you think that these guys, the strikers, are the guys to take forward with Kaizer Chiefs?
They're gonna have to be because there's nobody else coming, you know.
Yeah.
And man, frustratingly for the Kaizer Chiefs fans, we saw Ranga react emotionally to the fans after he scored, and this one, Chuck, is. It's a bit up in the air for me, you know, because on the one hand, if you check raw stats of Ranga Chivaviro, he's got 3 goals in 4 games. That's a ratio of 0.75. You know, he gives you 3 goals every 4 games. If he plays 40 games a season, he's going to score 30 goals. Now, you imagine that he's going to slow down. And the thing is, as I said to you, like if a player scores a single goal in a match, you can't ask much more of him than that. Except for the fact that Ranga keeps getting great chances.
Yeah.
And the Chiefs fans, they are well within their rights to express themselves in terms of, but that was a quote-unquote clear cut. We don't play professional football, and I don't think chances are as clear cut as we'd love to think that they are, sitting in our couches watching these guys on screen or in the stadium watching them on the field. But because this is what they do, this is their profession, Ranga is a striker, you expect him to do better in those positions, you know. Ranga needs 5 chances to score 1, and you need to just live with that. And the comforting thing I'd say to Kaizer Chiefs fans is the fact that Kaizer Chiefs keeps on creating chances. You know, so if you do keep creating the chances, eventually he's gonna get one. Now, how do I feel about his reaction towards the fans? He was not supposed to do that. Like, you don't get to miss the chances, and then when you score one, you then go, you have a go at us. You might feel like that, right? You might feel like that. Well, I've been copping abuse. Now you get it. Like, you don't, and the reason you don't, I don't think it's not on principle that you've got no leg to stand on. I think you don't want to have your own fans turn against you. You don't want to be public enemy number 1 with your own fans, particularly the biggest fan base in the country, because yes, we can call on the fans to support the players a lot more, right? But as the player as well, don't then spit in the fans' faces. This is famously what happened with Granit Xhaka. And yeah, when he was playing well in his last season for Arsenal, and then there was the call for him maybe to stay and not to leave, and seeing how great he's done by Leverkusen, him then also speaking about it, and other fans speaking about the fact that, oh yeah, but then you didn't appreciate him, Arsenal fans, when he was there. Stop that. Because when he was getting red carded for foolish things on the field, and then when the fans are expressing rightly their disappointment, then he's throwing the armband and is disrespecting the fans. You don't get to do that, you know. And then because your form picks up, now you want to have revisionist history and say, well, you see, you shouldn't have done that because look at the performances. No. At that time, that's what was happening, and the fans were expressing themselves, and things turned around, right? You don't have a go at the fans. I do think there's lines where you don't cross. You don't start threatening people's families or their lives. That is a totally different conversation. But in terms of just performance and the reaction to the performance, if you're missing chances, Ranga, what do you want those fans to say? You know, as I'm saying, yes, they can be more supportive, and there is a call to get behind the player a little more, because once again, you give him chances, he's going to repay you. But I also don't think that you should absolutely lose your cool as the striker, because you are playing for the Glamour Boys, the number 1 footballing brand in the country, and you're scoring goals for them, and the coach loves you. He keeps playing you. He's going to keep starting you. You're going to keep getting opportunities to prove people wrong and to win over their support, because you're going to need their support.
I mean, I don't like you saying the number 1 football brand is Chiefs, the biggest supporter
they are,
Chiefs. As Pirates. We need a recount. But I think with Ranga J, when you think about the fact that, well, mind you, it's great, right? Because your team is scoring goals. You don't have to. They're not winning 1-0 because of your goal. You're winning 4, and you contributed 1 goal, and that's because Serena's on fire. Du's contributing. Uswane had a decent game as well, and their chances being created for everyone in the team. Dupre gets onto the score sheet as well. But when you think back about last season and the seasons prior, when Chiefs were struggling, mainly it was because of Ranga as well. In terms of, we could have won this game 1-0, 2-0, but you didn't score any, and you were the eye of our frustration because we could have won the game except for you didn't score. And now that the team is in a good moment, and now they're confident, and now that they're scoring goals, and you're scoring 1 of 4, you don't get to then say, oh, things are great now, and therefore you take it to the fans. I don't think that makes sense, because when you were the catalyst of the results, you didn't convert. And now that things are good now again, we want you to convert more chances, because Jay, I do agree with you in terms of when the players scored a goal, they've done well, but sometimes you want more from Moranga. Like in the game against Sundowns, I was like, where is the confidence? You just scored a goal. Go and shoot, because then he's dilly-dallying on the ball. He's trying to cut back. I'm like, you are the striker. When the ball gets to you, we are expecting you to score. And so when he dilly-dallies and he wants to pass, I'm like, my guy, you just scored. Should you not be confident and try to do? Because when teams are having a good time, Jerry, if a striker's having a good time, if you score, you've seen this a lot of times. If someone scores a screamer, the next time you give them the ball, you're going to shoot from the same range, because if it's a feel-good moment and they're confident, you're like, dude, it's not going to happen every time. But not with Ranga. And I think that's where his confidence is, right? And I get it. It's good to get the monkey off your back eventually and say, see, I can score. See, I can do my job. I am a goal scorer. But it's tough times if you're on the bad books of the Chiefs fans. I'll the entire team last season. You don't want to put yourself back into that scenario when your team's having a good moment. So I think I get it. I get the frustration. But just keep it under wraps.
Also, you've scored 3 goals, man. Like, let's not make it as if you've just had a season like Untof. Like, after that, maybe you can say it's like no one should be saying anything. And at that point, I'd support him. Like, you can't say nothing, but it's a single goal. Like, keep your head down, keep working, and hope that the Chiefs fans then come back to like on your side. But don't have a go at your own fans. It never works out.